I am Slick Nick, your personal certified Enneagram coach. And boy, am I excited to be making this video because it's finally about me. Enneagram 7. Now, what's funny about this series while I'm wearing this particular t-shirt, what I'm doing is spending about 5 minutes per Enneagram to use logic to express that whatever that Enneagram fears and therefore motivates them is kind of a waste, because that's an impossible task to ever reach. So this is gonna be fun because now I'm talking to myself, literally in the selfie screen I have here, but also to anyone else who's an Enneagram 7. What do we fear? Well, if you look up most books or websites, they're gonna say that we fear being in pain or being bored. That's fair, but ultimately here's how I would describe it. I would say the fear is being unproductive. So basically, you feel like time's being wasted. You want to make the most of your life. You don't want time to be wasted. You want to be productive. You want to be doing something. So I would say that's what we fear. We fear not being productive and that our time's being wasted. So now, the reality of that is, if we look at that from a logical perspective, why is that kind of silly to fear? Because life is largely boring. That's the thing. Most of our waking minutes and hours, we're spending doing things we don't even want to be doing, like working or school or whatever it is. Chores. I don't want to be doing dishes. I don't want to be doing laundry. Most of my minutes are spent doing things I don't want to be doing. So it's kind of funny to fear that, because that's most of our time while we're awake. We're doing things we don't want to do and that are ultimately boring, and makes it feel like our time's being wasted. So ultimately, yes, that's why 7s are constantly staying busy and usually talk fast even, because ultimately we want to get more done during the little bit of time we have left, and in life in general. But how do we overcome that? How do we become a better version of ourselves? With each Enneagram, they have their own growth personality, and mine is a 5, which I'm very at peace with. I made a video recently talking about the irony, the paradox, that out of the 9 Enneagrams, 7 is the token extrovert of the group, and 5 is the token introvert of the group. And fate would have it that the best version of a 7, your growth, is to become more like an introvert. Now, specifically, let's take a look at my favorite book on Enneagram, The Enneagram Made Easy. You can check the link right there on Amazon, buy it for, I don't know, 15 bucks, pretty cheap if you want to. I love this book. But when 7s move to the positive side of the introvert, 5, we become quieter and more introspective and objective. We explore subjects in depth and place more value on wisdom and self-discipline. We become more accepting of both polarities of life, good and bad, happy and sad. We become more serious, and we're taken more seriously by other people. And we get in touch with our fears. So at my best, and your best if you're a 7, that's ultimately how we become a better version of ourselves. So yes, anyone else can say, why are you worried about, not making the most out of life? Like, what does that even mean? How can you even do that? Why would you fear time being wasted? A lot of time is wasted, and there's nothing we can do as we sit in traffic. That's how life actually works. Well, note to self, when I'm in those situations, when I feel like my time's being wasted, I have to turn inwardly and think ultimately more about my own life and the balance in that. I think that's one of the most important things that I've learned from so far, is that it really is about balance. At my worst, I'm a 1. I'm a horrible perfectionist at my worst, because I'm not good at that. I'm not good at just choosing one side and going down that road. I need to see the full balanced picture of it to probably help me realize a lot of my fears either are irrational or are going to happen no matter what, like dying eventually. So, are you a 7? Can you relate? You want to keep this conversation going? I'd love to hear from you. Comment section right here.